Heaven is like an egg, and the earth is like the yolk of the egg. To have a human form is a joyful thing. Do not seek fame. Do not make plans. Do not be absorbed by activities. Do not think that you know. Be aware of all that is and dwell in the infinite. Wander where there is no path. Be all that heaven gave you, but act as though you have received nothing. Be empty, that is all. Great knowledge is universal. Small knowledge is limited. Great words are inspiring. Small words are chatter. So if loss of what gives happiness causes you distress when it fades, you can now understand that such happiness is worthless. It is said, those who lose themselves in their desire for things also lose their innate nature by being vulgar. Tao is the source of both fullness and emptiness, but it is itself neither fullness nor emptiness. The one-legged creature is envious of the millipede is envious of the snake is envious of the wind is envious of the eye is envious of the heart. The man who has some respect for his person keeps his carcass out of sight, hides himself as perfectly as he can. If right were ultimately right, its differentiation from not right would require no debate. He who pursues fame at the risk of losing his self is not a scholar. Your life has a limit, but knowledge has none. If you use what is limited to pursue what has no limit, you will be in danger. All the fish needs is to get lost in the water. All man needs is to get lost in Tao. When you are identified with the One, all things will be complete to you. Cherish that which is in you and shut out that which is without, for much knowledge is a curse. The perfect man uses his mind as a mirror. It grasps nothing. It regrets nothing. It receives but does not keep. To have a human form of a joyful thing, but in the universe of possible forms, there are others just as good. Luck implies an absolute absence of any principle. The little child learns to speak, though it has no learned teachers, because it lives with those who know how to speak. Life comes from the earth and life returns to the earth. Do not use life to give life to death. Do not use death to bring death to life. The enlightened attention rejects nothing nor welcomes anything. Like a mirror, it responds equally to all. Silence and non-action are the root of all things. Good fortune is as light as a feather, but nobody knows how to pick it up. Misfortune is as heavy as earth, but nobody knows how to stay out of its way. You are still guided by your excitations. If you would called me an ox, I would have said I was an ox. If you would called me a horse, I would have said I was a horse. If the reality is there and you refuse to accept the name men give it, you'll only lay yourself open to double harassment. Don't go in and hide. Don't come out and shine. Stand stock still in the middle. Don't you know about the praying mantis that waved its arms angrily in front of an approaching carriage, unaware that they were incapable of stopping it? Such was the high opinion it had of its talents. The perfect man of old looked after himself first before looking to help others. Those who seek to satisfy the mind of man by hampering it with ceremonies and music and affecting charity and devotion have lost their original nature. The torch of doubt and chaos, this is what the sage steers by. Birth is not our beginning, death is not an end. There is existence without limitation, there is continuity without a starting point. Great understanding is broad and unhurried, little understanding is cramped and busy. I am going to try speaking some reckless words, and I want you to try to listen recklessly. Sound intelligence promises victory in every battle. He who knows he is a fool is not the biggest fool. He who knows he is confused is not in the worst confusion. To go outside what your charge was, and to try to solve everything yourself, is dangerous. Let everything be allowed to do what it naturally does, so that its nature will be satisfied. We possess our body by chance, and we are already pleased with it. If our physical bodies went through 10,000 transformations without end, how incomparable would this joy be! Therefore the sage roams freely in the realm in which nothing can escape, but all endures. If you have insight, you use your inner eye, your inner ear, to pierce to the heart of things, and have no need of intellectual knowledge. You cannot speak of ocean to a well frog, the creature of a narrower sphere. You cannot speak of ice to a summer insect, the creature of a season. A frog in a well cannot conceive of the ocean. Heaven is in everything. Follow the light, hide in the cloudiness, and begin in what is. Do this, and your understanding will be like not understanding, and your wisdom will be like not being wise. By not being wise, you will become wise later. Breathing control gives man strength, vitality, inspiration, and magic powers. The whole world is incapable of judging either right or wrong, but it is certain that actionless action can judge both right and wrong. We are born from a quiet sleep, and we die to a calm awakening. To be truly ignorant, be content with your own knowledge. Listening stops with the ears, the mind stops with recognition, but spirit is empty and waits on all things. Now, when ordinary people attempt to find happiness, I am not sure whether the happiness is really happiness or not. I study what ordinary people do to find happiness, what they struggle for, rushing about apparently unable to stop. To regard the fundamental as the essence, to regard things as coarse, to regard accumulation as deficiency, and to dwell quietly alone with the spiritual and the intelligent, herein lie the techniques of Tao of the ancients. All existing things are really one. We regard those that are beautiful and rare as valuable, and those that are ugly as foul and rotten. The foul and rotten may come to be transformed into what is rare and valuable, and the rare and valuable into what is foul and rotten. The living all find death unpleasant, men mourn over it. And yet, what is death but the unbending of the bow and its return to its case? Tao is beyond words and beyond things. It is not expressed either in word or in silence. Where there is no longer word or silence, Tao is apprehended. I know the joy of fishes in the river through my own joy, as I go walking along the same river.